What does this pod mean to you? I'm gonna be real, man. I really feel that over the years of doing this thing, I do feel like this is one place I can be myself. I can be Michael. And, there's someone across the table from me that, accepts that. And, I think that's something in life that I had a hard time finding. And I'm just kind of glad that I see now the growth from way back when, honestly. I never thought this is the last thing I thought I'd be doing is speaking into a microphone every week for hours, and to be able to be happy doing that, not because of who listens to it, but for myself. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome home. You Are Here podcast, episode 223, I believe. And dude, it's the solo episodes. We're back, baby. At this point in time, I don't know I think we're going to have Dave come out before mine, but we decided I'm going to be going away to visit my brother in Japan at the end of April. So I'm going to be away for over 2 weeks. So we're pre-recording some stuff. And we decided to do, some solo episodes. Just see how it goes, And I think Dave just did his. We're kind of recording 3 at once. So it seemed like it went well, man. So Dave, thanks for doing that. I love you, buddy. But you know what? It's Mikey's episode. You know what I mean? Let's get into it. What are we going to talk about? I'm going to be real. The first thing I want to talk about is what I'm genuinely feeling right now. I think that's the question I gave Dave to answer, and I want to answer that myself. Like right when you press play, sitting down, doing this thing solo. The first thing I feel, strangely, I feel less nervous once I press play, which is weird to me because I think I've done it maybe twice, a solo episode, and both those times, I think if you go back, if you look down deep, it was definitely not the greatest. And you know what? I put it up there anyway because I said, you know what? You got to get past it. That's what it was. In that moment, upload. Boom. And I remember specifically those episodes. When I pressed play, I was immediately nervous. Just straight up nerves, my chest. What happens to you when you get nervous? You know what happens to me? Right here, right in this area, right in the chest, and right in the throat. I just forget how to breathe. And I feel like my body's destroying itself from the inside out. That's just me. All right. Let me know what happens to you in the comments. Let me know. But that's me. And dude, Dave, that was a beautiful question, honestly, to open. And he also put it down another question that says, tell me a story of something you miss. And I think that ties in so perfectly to this trip I'm doing. Thank you for the question, Dave. Ties in perfectly to the trip I'm taking to Japan to visit my brother, man. I'm visiting my brother with my whole family, And honestly, it's been 5 years since we've all been together, in one place. And, it was kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing. I remember my parents were going to be, my mom was coming here to visit. And they were going to, travel around the States and just go around and start enjoying, traveling again. After working for so long, So that was going to be cool. But then I was thinking, I'm like, look, man, what if I think this is the only time that we can do it. Like I'm on my own, like I'm adulting now. I got my own money. I got my own stuff. I'm able to do it. You guys can do it. How about we set this up? Because I don't think it's going to happen like this, Like I don't think there's going to be another time where we have this much time and space and just being able to go somewhere together like that. So, hey man, I threw out the idea and they were like, you know what? Why not? Let's do it. And dude, we're going. And it's coming up, end of the month. I'm so excited. I honestly can't wait, but dude, 100%. I think what I miss is really, there's a segment of my life, man, where I was just very close to my big brother. And I really, really did love that. I did an episode. He guested a couple times as well in the past on the podcast. You can check those out. My brother Sebastian, shout out to you, and shout out to your wife. I'm gonna come visit. But dude, I really do miss just those days of like high school, where high school and college, we were just, we were super close. And I feel like that doesn't happen a lot with siblings, or maybe it does. But, I think it's a mixed bag. And I really feel like we had this connection that was super, super close, where we had each other's backs, and we had so many same interests. We grew to love, and we were trying things. We were trying business stuff. We're trying to, independent, like freelancing, videos, trying to find jobs, trying to get better at stuff. It was someone I for sure could, depend on. You know what I mean? To want to, be my partner and partner in crime to do stuff and figure things out. And we both loved cooking. We would cook it together. We would do all these things that I feel like brought us so close together, which that's honestly really cool. It's really cool that the more, what? Someone I was talking to, shout out Sam, that I was working with. We were talking about, like, what's your favorite thing to do, like going out, right? Think about it for a second. What's your ideal, like, if you could do something, like, let's say you're planning a little hangout with like your best friend. What's like your thing that you would want to do? Like truly, what would it be? Like a specific thing? I don't know. It might be like, I think it's funny. I think her answer was going out, like dancing, with her friends or something, And then she came back and changed it to something more specific. I'm like, dude, you know what's cool? It's like, maybe the surface answer isn't the one. You know what I mean? What if we dug a little deeper? You know what I mean? Made it a little more personal. And I think that's honestly, I think that's the thing. Once it starts getting personal, once we start spending time together, doing things that we both have interests in, like cooking. We like cooking a specific thing. Like, man, I miss that. And I know we're gonna, over this trip, we're gonna meet, and we're gonna cook. We're gonna go look for games. We're gonna go look for records. We're gonna do, you know what I mean? It's all this stuff we used to do. And maybe there's some sort of nostalgia in that I'm really like yearning for. I think nostalgia is a big part of my life. I think it does run it, in a sense, a big part of it, mentally. I love nostalgia. I love things from the past, because it's so cool. It's just like a moment in time, like, especially if it's tangible, like an old video game, like you can play this thing, Like I was a baby when I played Pokemon, you know what I mean? I was a child. But dude, I could still pick that up and play it again and have those memories flow through you. And I think that's so freaking cool. Gets me excited, man. It really does. Same with records, music. Like, oh my goodness. It's just like such a trip sometimes, man. It really gets me going. It hits us like a specific part of my brain that I don't know. It makes me feel like home. It feels like home, dude. Maybe that's what I miss. Do I miss home? But you know what? I don't know if it's that, because I'm kind of so happy where I'm at right now, which is cool, I guess we can roll into now that question that I had, how I'm genuinely feeling right now. I feel like where I'm at right now, I'm pretty happy, man. I am. I can say that confidently. I feel like for a long time I wasn't able to say that, but I do feel happy. I feel confident. I feel like I like the work I put in is like slowly trickling back. I'm getting a little bit of a kickback. Like the one thing I learned, man, is the patience. Patience is literally so important to just, I think, every aspect of life. You know what I mean? I think it, like, being able to, act on the opportunity is super important, right? Like knowing when something comes up where, like, if you don't take this, like, you could be missing a whole like different life, basically. And that's definitely super important to be able to see those things, but also you can also be super patient, man. And I think, there's no right way to live it. But if you're doing one or the other, I think like you're getting somewhere good, man. I really do. And that's the consistency of you being patient is it's tough, dude. You have to wait. It takes time. And that's the most important thing, right? Just, you have to be confident and that I have to wait, but it's going to work out. And I think that's what I told myself when I was maybe like 18. It was like with certain things, like certain life decisions start coming up and it's a little scary sometimes. You might be going through some stuff right now. I don't know who's listening, but if you can plan some things out, dude, I really do think that. I think a lot of life is up to, fate and some things just either happen or they don't. But I think you can definitely, if the energy you put in, I think it goes somewhere, right? Like I want this certain thing to happen, and there's a way to get there, but it might not be like I can't go buy like a whole building and start making like, let's say I want to make podcast studios. I buy a building and then I build it out, and then like, all right, we got podcast studios. That could take years, probably tens of years, honestly. You know what I mean? But, I think slowly what I realize is like, you know what? We can start at the micro, right? We start at the little thing. We start at, maybe this job I'm doing might lead me to that, and maybe if I stick with this, it might lead to me getting to know this person, to that person, to now I have an opportunity to maybe start something, And I think the more I'm living life, the more I'm realizing that was definitely a very important trait that I wanted to upkeep in my life, Like, I feel like there's so many things as we're living, we're subconsciously like trying to follow our virtues, trying to follow our morals, our like the core, like who we really are. You know what I mean? It's so funny because I have a list of questions on my phone, and I'm not looking at them right now. My phone's right off, but like I'm just slowly everything I'm saying is leading up to all these questions I have, and I don't know if it's better to just I have the question. Why not just ask it? So with that, knowing who you are, I think it's such a weird question. And also it's like, this is something that's been tripping me up lately. It's like, how do you know if you really know someone? Like, I feel like I had a certain encounter recently that, like, honestly, let's be freaking super transparent and honest. I'm not going to be giving names away, but there's a certain just like relationship I've had right now with a person that, like, man, sometimes like you just get you almost get tested. It tests like where are we right now? Like, what point are we at in this friendship or this whatever this is? I don't know. Like, how do we know, you know what I mean? Someone that you're not with every day of your life, that they're going to be the same person tomorrow. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory. Probably not going to be the same person. Someone could change in a day. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's a reason we become friends with people, right? There's a reason why we get close with people. It's because we have a sense of, who they are, right? But it's funny how, like, maybe one day, like, let's say someone, I know someone for a long time, and then they start, acting a certain way or being different, and now I'm like, oh man, this almost like throws a wrench in the whole machine. Like, I don't know. Now what? Now what is this? How am I going to act now? It's interesting, man. It's like, do I know Dave? I wanted to ask. From the people that listen to the podcast, do you know Dave? Let's explain Dave. What is Dave like? What I know Dave's a very, I feel a lot of connection to Dave, especially through the creativity side of things. He's a creative person. He's super compassionate. He's a friend. He's like a brother to me, dude. Honestly, he almost filled the void of my brother. You know what I mean? Having that older kind of brother figure. But I feel like we're just like super close friends, though. It's not really a brotherly thing, but I call him my brother. You know what I mean? And, I love him for that. But, I know Dave sometimes he sees red sometimes, right? Like we've got our flaws, we got our certain things that make us us, right? I feel like I have a pretty good understanding sometimes of who he is, And maybe I'm trying to even think of like certain times I've been surprised by like other people that I think I've known. With Dave, I don't really know. Maybe like 1 or 2 times I was like surprised, and we were able to, hash that out or deal with it or like acknowledge it both. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what we gotta do. Maybe these differences now I'm like, gotta bring it up. And that's kind of scary, right? It's so funny that a lot of these problems I feel like I have are just another thing of like adulting and being like emotionally smart, right? Just having to be like, you know what? I can be like racking my mind of all the different answers or possibilities why someone's doing something. Or you could just say, hey, man, or hey, I feel like you're doing something different, And maybe, I don't know if I did something or maybe you're just moving on or I don't know. But this is how I'm feeling. Like, what do you think? You know what I mean? Or I don't feel good about this. Or this hurt me or that hurt me or I don't know, man. I feel like that a lot of those problems just get solved like that and we probably just don't want to deal with it. I know sometimes I don't want to deal with it for the most part. But I think the more I go on, the more I gotta start just, attacking things head on, confidently. Like I said, how I'm confident right now, like pressing play on the podcast, I gotta be confident with other people. And I think that's definitely something I've probably have been having to work on, for the longest time. It's been tough. It's been really tough. But I think it helps me to think that I've done better, over the years, especially by seeing the podcast. I think I've been able to see it, I feel a lot better at that point in time. But there's some stuff that definitely I need to still work on. And I'll admit it, dude. I'll freaking admit it. And I also didn't introduce the perfect partner of the You Are Here podcast. Damn it, I didn't do the shout outs. Well, we can shout it out now, dude, because we're keeping it real. We're keeping it live. We're keeping it You Are Here. And that's what it is, baby. So shout out to the realest partner of the You Are Here podcast, Anytown Actors Lab. We love you. Adam Louder out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas is doing in-person classes. And dude, I think he said he was on last podcast actually, if you want to watch that one. But I think he's got students on students. And honestly, he's one person. He doesn't have other teachers. He's teaching and he's full. And he honestly can't keep up. But if you want to get a spot in, there's no one else doing it like him. So I suggest you get on that website, anytownactorslab.com, and go for an online consultation. They go through what you're looking for, what needs you need, what you're trying to get worked on, or how you're trying to start and what your trajectory could be. And I mean, if you're trying to act, you're not going to find anyone that cares about you. Just going to say it. I'm sorry. And I know Adam cares because he's gone through it and he knows, and he's a good fucking dude. Pardon my French. AnytownActorsLab.com. Check it out. Now, shout out to the patrons. We love you. We freaking love you. I think there's like probably one right now that's kept the subscription going, but that doesn't matter, baby, because we keep your name up. We keep you on the banner that you're going to be solidified into Your Here history. Patreon.com/You Are Here podcast. It's where it is. I'm honestly thinking about changing it to $1 because I think we haven't been updating it, and I'm sorry, but it's tough. It's tough, man. Life's tough. We're also on Twitch, twitch.tv/You Are Here podcast. We go live, we stream. We've been playing Apex. We played Fortnite with our girls. I mean, not our girl, I'm sorry. Damn it. Sweet Weeby. Fuck. We played with Sweet Weeby. That's my bad. They were awesome and taught us a little Fortnite. And we're going to keep that in because we're going to be for real, all right? We're keeping it real on the You Are Here podcast. But we're twitching. And we might be playing, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to be playing this week. But it's a fun time. It's us after the podcast. And it's a good, just a hang, you know? It could get wild. We could be like reenacting something. We could be doing like a whole scene. We did that. Didn't see that, did you? Well, get on there, twitch.tv/YouAreHerePodcast, and get on it. And we're back, baby. It's 18 minutes in. Let's go to some of the questions I have. All right. There's certain things I want to talk about. Now, look. I heard a lyric in a song off the new Daniel Caesar album. Also, I'm sorry, I have to say it. Mikey is just an R&B neo soul king. That's all I listen to. I love it. There's something I love about just like about love, about things about love, stories about it, music about it. I think it's the hopeless romantic in me from middle school, having a crush on a girl and me watching like, I don't know, Disney movies or something. But there's something there that it just speaks to my soul. All right. And that's one thing you got to know about me. 100%. I am just the hopeless romantic. Still, I thought I lost it. I thought there was no more, but your boy's still there. And I was listening to the new Daniel Caesar album. It's great. It's been on repeat for me. He has a beautiful, sultry voice. And he just sings. He just sings about love. He sings about relationship. It's awesome. Yeah, I suggest you check it out. But he had this one line talking about a flower or flowers and how a flower is ever giving, you know? And that made me start to think. I guess plants are kind of like ever giving. Do plants live forever? Like trees, right? Trees are, if they're tended to, will they live forever? Can a tree live forever? This is what I want to know. Trees can indeed live indefinitely, but this does not happen, says co-author coming to external agent, non-living ones such as an external agent, biotic or abiotic. Oh, so it's basically, it can, but it will eventually, either a person or something in nature will destroy it, which means it could technically live forever, which is, hey, hallelujah. I mean, it was just Easter. Like, that's amazing to think about. Like a tree or a plant or a flower is ever giving. Like, if you tend to it, it will be there forever, which is so, man, it's like a painting in my brain right now. Like, it's like a movie in my brain. It's like imagining like the same tree or plant or flower bush or whatever. And like, let's say your mom gives you the flower, right? Which it's funny. I'm looking at the flower my mom gave me, and the flowers bloomed this season, which is beautiful. I love you, Mom. But dang, imagine getting that flower and then like you have it for years and years and years and years and years and years, and then I pass it on to my kid. And then that kid has it for years and years and years and years and years, and he passes it down. And technically, like I might be gone, but that thing can be there forever? Dude, that's magical. I don't know why I never even thought of it before. Like technically, yes, it could just be there. But let's say maybe little Mike, my son doesn't water it one day and it's gone, I don't know, man. Just a little flavor for your life right now. You know what I mean? I'm just sprinkling a little flavor for you. I don't know. I found that intriguing, man. Maybe like are humans ever giving? Not really, because they kind of have a lifespan, technically. But I mean, is a human ever giving until death, man? I don't know. Or maybe maybe that soul can live on. Or those actions maybe, in a way, give to the world. I don't know, man. that'd be something really interesting. I kind of want to ask Dave in the podcast we do together. I really do. Because it's I don't know, man. I really was thinking about that today. Like, are people ever giving? Like, it's interesting because we have like kind of this freedom and choice to do good or bad, you know? We do. So like maybe with the best possible outcomes, we could live a fulfilling, ever-giving life, you know, giving back to the world and giving back to people around us. And you know, maybe it's the same as that plant. It's like it's passing down. Maybe the what you're giving isn't, you know, physically you, but it's, I don't know. I want to think of it as like your soul, like giving like some of your energy to someone you love, and then that love being able to fuel, you know, the next generation and the next and the next and the next. And maybe that's what's ever giving about it, you know? In a perfect world, you know, we got to be a little nihilistic. We got to think that things are going to go wrong. That's how I think, at least. I think sometimes, you know, sometimes things might go wrong, and I think it's good to be prepared. But it's a little bit of a beautiful thought to me, you know, that we are actually able to maybe, you know, be ever giving, like a flower. Like if we're tended to right, man, we can give forever. Wow. I love that. I really love that. That's so cool. And another, you know what? That's so funny. I wrote down emotional intelligence. There it is. Got big words now. Mikey's got big words. I say emotional intelligence because I feel like that's another thing I'm able to do here is be a little bit more open. And I think in places where I'm able to be open and open up, I'm able to understand others better. And that's important, right? I mean, it's tough when I'm out in the world and you know, I think most people that know me, most even friends I have, it's like, I think David would probably agree. It's like, it's not the easiest thing to probably get to know me. You know what I mean? I think in the world, I have a little bit of a barrier up. And I think that might be for reasons, you know what I mean? We can maybe explore that. Let me cliff note that. What kind of barriers do I have? What barriers do I have? But I've heard it before that it's tough. It's tough for me to meet me. It's I seem uninterested. I've heard that. I've heard I got a how do you say, in a RBF, an RBF. Look it up. Yeah, that I'm not interested in others, but I think that's so funny because it's almost like the opposite. And I don't know what it is, man. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe I've just been hurt, and that's just my natural way I go about the world, you know? And that's what happened. And now I walk around and that's who I am. I think maybe it's not even being hurt, or maybe it is from, you know, growing up in school. I think when I moved to school, it was tough to make friends in that new place. And growing up, I think, man, it's so funny to think. Let's actually explain it. So growing up, you know, I moved when I was about, let me know, Sebastian, correct me, but I think let me actually try to think of the number because I'm so bad at this. I think I was in 4th grade. Yeah, 4th and 5th. And I think my brother's in 5th and 6th. I was in 3rd or 4th, no, 4th or 5th, I believe. And I moved to a new school, right? I'm not going to say the age, screw it. It's 4th grade. It's better. But I moved there and I remember it was tough making friends. I think it really was. It was not the easiest thing. And I think what I was able to do and how I was able to make friends was finding other people that also had a hard time. And I think that was what most of my friends were back then. So I don't know if that really, does that make us friends really, in a way? Because right now, honestly, I don't really keep up with that many of my old friends. I know I have a couple like Dan, Jared. Sometimes I even talk to Connor. A lot of, it's like a handful, you know what I mean? But I remember I had like best friends that I don't really talk, like, even, and those friends I mentioned aren't even the ones that I think were my best friends, but we keep in touch more than who I considered my best friends, over the years in those grades. And, I think maybe just the fact that it was like a bunch of outcasts kind of coming together to become friends maybe has something to do with why I might be, it's hard to approach and hard to, um, I don't know, get close to people, open up a little bit. I think that's, where it comes from. You know what I mean? It's the common the common folk of the school. Not I'm not really, I don't really vibe with them the same as I do with these other people that are feeling the same way I am. And that's interesting, man. It really is. I don't know. I wonder what do you guys think? Does that make sense? To me, it seems like where I get it from. You know. Hmm. And then I guess and I think that led up all the way up until I started playing like soccer. I played during those years too, but I think once I started in high school and I remember that was the only time I was like in school like recognized, because the only reasons I was known probably was I had like a phase of dressing up like every day for school, like dress shirt, like khakis. I don't. Oh my goodness. Just runner up for best dressed. Let me just say, they're superlatives. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm sorry. Um, freaking what's his name? Chris beat me. Chrissy, dude, beat me. I was also I was also nominated for coolest car. I mean, come on, 2 nominations. That's sick. I had a little 1986 BMW 325, baby. It was cherry red with the limousine limited edition. Had the dice in the mirror hanging right over there. I would smack them. And yep, I totaled that cart. And well, totaled the cart. And now don't have it anymore. And bad time. Let's not talk about it. Let's just say Mikey messed up a lot. It was a good time with that car. But that was one, probably that was maybe 3 things I was known for: best car, coolest car, um, best dressed, and also soccer team. I was the goalkeeper, dude. Your boy, I'm sorry. That's the only thing I'm ever going to be cocky about. I'm not a cocky person. I don't brag. Or maybe I do to Dave, you know what I mean? But that's just all just kind of jokes. To be real, it's just to be funny. But I don't like bragging. But I'll brag about this. Soccer in high school, I felt like hot shit. I'll say it right now. I felt like hot shit in high school because everyone sucked. And I'm just we said it's the You Are Here podcast. We're going to be real. A lot of people sucked, all right? And, your boy was all right. The parents were putting in money to go to train in an academy and stuff. And, your boy had a little bit of an up on the other players. But yeah, those are probably what I was known for. And those were the years of I was like, oh, like I can actually be confident and like people notice me and like me for, what I do or something, which I guess is a good thing to learn, maybe at that age. And then after that, I think I was trying to find myself, because I stopped playing soccer and then that was it. I got to try to find what am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Yeah. I guess I want to answer this, the barriers thing. Like, what barriers do I have when new people meet me? I think now, honestly, after the podcast kind of changing me to be more confident and more, I think open, I'm able to meet new people way better. I'm talking to people like at my job. I'm putting it out there, which is what I always wanted to do. I remember, I didn't like being, Even though it seems like it, I don't really like it being like this closed off character. But so the barriers, I think, I don't know, man. I really don't know what the barriers are. Like, what am I putting up? Why? Sometimes I feel like back then I almost wanted to just blend into the wall, Sometimes. But it's weird because it's like I have this contrast of like I want to blend into the wall, but I also want to be part of it, And you obviously can't do both of that. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Like, I almost feel like it's not even an intentional thing to put up barriers like that. It's not like I try to. But I think I don't know. Do you learn how to how to interact with others? Like, where do you learn that? You're not taught. It's not a thing you learn, right? It's weird. It's a thing you have to like navigate yourself and learn yourself, And what, is everyone going to be good at it? Probably not. We know that. But it's interesting to learn about it, It's interesting. Why don't we, try to push that a little more? I guess it is kind of awkward to be like, all right, guys, like, talk to each other and do this or that, which I think that's kind of what sometimes like parents did, like put two kids in a room that don't know each other and be like, all right, you guys are friends. Which sounds insane to do. I'm not doing that to my kid. That sounds fucking awful. All right, you're friends now. You don't even know him. Oh boy. Yeah, imagine doing that right now. Just like put a random person next to me. I feel like I would almost like that. Like right now. Just be like, all right, cool. Maybe not the friend, like we'll figure it out. I'm not gonna be your friend outright. But I could be interesting. It's more enticing to be now. Seems like, oh, you know what? Might be a cool person. But I feel like we're all cool, man. We all have such unique lives and things we're doing. And we can have so much fun and just have a great time, right? If this barrier, I just put it down. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like we're definitely over the years, I think there's less people reaching out and being open to people. And I think that's a problem. I really do. I think that's a problem. I think that's what we're attacking on this podcast for sure. That's why we started, is having, long open conversations and being real about, what we're doing, how we're feeling. And maybe if you could talk about a little acting in movies, talk about stuff we love, it's a way to connect. It's a way to open up. And we're totally open to just talk about whatever people want to open up about. Because that's all we can do, man. It's all we can do to get closer to each other. You know what I mean? Praise God. Praise. Happy Easter, guys. I'm going to be real. I did not. I mean, I had a good actually breakfast with my dad. It was good. He actually cooked food and stuff, which was a surprise. It was really good. Thanks, Dad. I love you. And yeah, man. I don't know. That's life, dude. I realize more and more. It really is like, there's something about taking it all just day by day. I feel like that's something I've adopted, is just taking things day by day. It almost feels easier to do that. Sometimes I don't know. I remember I was obsessed in high school, like the thinking ahead. I got a plan, dude. We gotta hustle, we gotta grind, we gotta get our mindsets in check because we don't have a lot of time, man. And you know what? That's all true. Like that's true, man. We don't have a lot of time, but we have the potential to have a lot of good times. You know what I mean? And for me personally, I think being able to take in every day fully, all those hours, I mean, it's all I can do, man. And I think that's I feel fulfilled by doing that. I feel like things are moving, things are happening. I'm making things happen, and I'm happy about it. I feel good. Yeah. What else we got, man? Oh, you know what? I actually have a funny story for you guys. Let's get into the funny story bit of it. So I was working over at the cafe, and it seems that, all right, we know on the podcast Mikey's single, right? I'm single. Ladies, let me know. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I don't want to do that. Let me know. I don't know. Don't let me know. Or do. Or don't. I don't know. Just make it discreet. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm at the cafe, and it seems that I get there's some some ladies come in and around my age, and we do a little flirt, a little talk. Sometimes I get a number or something. Something happens. You know what I mean? But what I've noticed in these past couple weeks is it seems that Mikey's demographic is just old ladies now. I said it. Mikey's being real today. It's the You Are Here podcast. You're here for this. Mikey's demographic is up, I've noticed. It's been, the numbers are going up. Now, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe it's okay. And maybe it's not. I mean, you know what? Who cares, right? I'll take whatever I can get, dude. It doesn't happen a lot where someone approaches me. But like when it does, you know what, dude? I'm going to take it. I'll take it, man. Thank you. I'm happy. It didn't. There were two things that happened though. With actually, it was It was two ladies and one interaction with a guy. That wasn't like a flirting thing at all. No, now I'm making it sound weird. But this first thing with the guy, he comes in, and I don't know how to take this. I don't know what this meant. But he came in. He just got some he was looking for like extra. He was getting hummus, right? And we sell these like pints of hummus that you can buy and take home. You know what I mean? So he's trying to get this hummus. He's like, oh, you don't have more? Like, can you check for me? And I was like, oh, sure, of course. Like, no problem. We didn't have any. And I said, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry, but you have one at least. He's like, oh, you're right. We got one at least. So he's paying, and I'm like, oh, you want a bag? And he's like, oh, you have, yeah, I want a bag. Like, you have those paper bags. And I'm like, paper bags? I'm like, oh yeah, we have paper bags. No big deal. And he's like, you remember like back in the day, like the paper bag? And I was like, yeah. Like, are you saying I'm 80 like you? What? I said, sure, yeah. Oh, paper bags. I said, they're great. They're great. Yeah, what can I say? They are good. I like a paper bag. And I said, oh, yeah, I remember my mom used to pack my lunch bag in a paper bag. I don't fucking care, man. But it was kind of interesting. And the person I was working with was like laughing because I'm in my paper bag era. When it's what? I'm an 80-year-old with a paper bag? That's me? That's Mikey? That guy was relating to me? I don't take it. I don't like that. I mean, come on. I'm hiding. But yeah, that was funny. I had a good laugh after that. But I guess that's it. I guess I'm relating to old people now. You know what I mean? Like that's what I've been noticing. So that's the first story. The second story I have is it was like we were closing up and I was cleaning. It's the same day. Closing up and I'm cleaning. And there's these two, older ladies that came in a little late. They sat down and they're kind of, they're a little bit rowdy. You know what I mean? They seem like they're having a good time. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to knock them for it. But they were having a good time. And they were talking, they were gossiping. I could hear they were laughing. And I started sweeping and I was sweeping the whole place. It's not like I'm next to them and be like, what's up, ladies? Mikey's not looking, all right? There's no one in my wheelhouse there, all right? They're a little bit older. And I'm like, oh, there's just probably some nice lady. So I start sweeping and I get to the other side that's like, it's not like right next to them, but I'm kind of near them and they can see me. And the lady's like, the lady's like, she's like, hey, And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? She's like, do you guys have live music? I remember you guys had that way back in the day. And I'm like, oh, another way back in the day? Well, what, how many years? 20, 30 years? I don't know. I said, oh, yeah, we still have it. Yeah, we've been having it. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh, I love live music. It's my favorite. I don't know why she's Southern now. But she was like, oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Like, oh, I have to come. She's like, I go out to like live music and stuff. And I was like, oh, really? Well, that's awesome. Cool. Good for you guys. And she's like, oh, you should go. You'd love it. We should go together. Like, it's at some place, I don't know, Belmar or something. She's like, you would love it. Oh, man. She's like, oh, do you know AC/DC? And I was like, yeah, of course. You kidding me? AC/DC? Everyone knows AC/DC. She's like, oh, I don't know. No, these young people don't know anything. Man, they don't know things about AC/DC. I said, oh, no. I was like, I was raised right. And yeah, she said, oh, yeah, you got to come down. And I was like, okay, sounds good to me. And then I start sweeping again. I'm sweeping, Mikey's sweeping. And then all I hear is like, look at this. And she has a phone. She's pointing it at me. And it's just this blaringly loud video of like them at this like club. Just, I guess, at the live music. Playing AC/DC. And I was like, wow, that looks super fun. Like, that's awesome. I got to go. And then I kicked them out. No, I didn't kick them out. But we were closing up. I said, oh, like, you guys got to come for the live music. But can you guys leave? Well, yeah, that was it. So Mikey got hit on by some older ladies, man. And look, I'll take it, dude. You know what? It's a rough world out there. I'll take whatever action I can get. All right? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. I don't know why I always do that. I always like, I joke and then I immediately say, that's a joke. Which I don't know. Is that funny or is that not? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe that's just who I am, dude. And that's all right. Why am I questioning it? Well, guys, it's been, how long has it been? 47 minutes. Dang. I still don't have any nerves, man. And that's cool. I love that. What if this is going to be a thing, like a regular thing? That'd be interesting. I'm really interested to see Dave's episode, honestly. I want to listen to it. I really am. That's going to be fun. Well, what else do I have on the list? The old listy list. Let me see. I feel like I'm almost done. I don't know what else to talk about. This is the part where it gets weird. What do we talk about now? I mean, we could talk about the podcast. But who wants to hear it, man? Who wants to hear it? No one wants to hear it. But why? I don't care. We can talk about the podcast. But I do have one last thing, which I think is just racking my brain looking at it. It kind of has to go back to that emotional intelligence thing. I think that in life we tend to focus on certain aspects of life that we're kind of forced to really deal with. Let's say like work, family, friends. It's like stuff like that, like education. It's almost like every single thing. I'm going to compare it to like a game, like a role-playing game, an RPG game, right? I'll explain to it. It'll be easy to explain. Let's say you just have it's like a score, like a 0 to 100, right? Let's say like your emotional intelligence is 0 to 100. It's like, as we live life and like every single thing, it's 0 to 100. It's like a scale. It's like you're leveling it up all the way. And the more time you put in, the more you can get up. And maybe, I don't think, it probably doesn't go to 100. It probably goes to like infinity, So it probably like, you know what I mean? It's not to scale each thing. It isn't comparable. But it's like, you're better at certain things. You know what I mean? You're leveling up certain things the more time you put in. And I think in like, let's say the most general kind of life someone has is, working, making a family, stuff like that. And I think you see a lot, like just like a normal, like what those things, what do you work on? I think emotional intelligence is almost like, it's pretty low, man. I feel like that's something I think this generation and this past generation is like noticing way more and wanting to like level it up, And I think that's good. I think that's why I'm able to be like this now and be able to talk for an hour almost. I can't believe I'm going to get there to an hour, which makes no sense. And it felt like it kind of went by, which is crazy. But I think I've been leveling that thing up, and that's what's been helping me kind of get through life a little better, which is cool. But I think it'd be cool for everyone to look at what they're putting all their effort into, what they're leveling up, what are they focusing on? Maybe we gotta, switch gears and start leveling up the emotional intelligence. I think that's important, man. I think I'm a big proponent in it. I think instead of worrying more about what you look like or what other people think of you, maybe put that, like, let's stop dealing with that. And you might be even like thinking about that, but you're not getting experience from that. You know what I mean? You're not getting points for that. That could be just like hurting you. You know what I mean? I think there's certain things that are like time sinks, that don't better you, right? We should always be trying to like almost better, our lives at all times in a way, I don't think it has to be something that's like you're working all day, every day, 24/7. I think even just like something like this, like me and Dave sitting down and podcasting, like talking to each other, that's leveling up emotional intelligence. Talking about things that are, make you a little uncomfortable, or being honest with each other. That's a way you could level up. You know what I mean? Like there's different ways to do it, man. We could all get experience from different things and get better, in those certain aspects. I think you could treat every single aspect of life like that. Business stuff, dude. You read a book, you get a little bit of experience. Let's say you do a certain, work at a business, you do an internship, you do something that's more experience. That's a bigger bar than doing than reading a book. You know what I mean? You could do way more with being somewhere than reading a book, or vice versa. Who knows? It could be anything. But I think, dude, what I'm trying to say is keep it interesting, dude. Just keep doing it. Keep being open. Keep wanting to learn. Keep trying to do things. Keep wanting to be passionate. Have fun. Get into new things. There's something cool about that, man. You can literally like, you know what, dude? Because in my town they actually do like a bulk garbage day. Where you could throw out a bunch of stuff. And I saw there was like a bike. There was like a sewing table. There was like this. There was that. There's a machine. There's a computer. There's a laptop. There's a printer. Like you could technically just like grab something off the road that like no one wants right now, or someone's selling something on Facebook Marketplace or something for like $5 because they're trying to get rid of it. But actually, you could like, I don't know, start a whole hobby or something, like a sewing kit or something, sewing machine. You could start making clothes. It's like you can literally have a whole new passion or like craft or hobby, dude, or just something that you do on the side that's just, I don't know, fulfills you. I think that's, part of what hobbies do for people, and I think that's something I really think in life I have a lot of, I was always known for like, Mike he always tries certain things. He always puts in, effort to, oh my God. He always puts in a little effort to try different things, and there's something good about that. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes me, what does it do for me? Because I was about to say it makes me open, but we just talked about how I'm not open. So, or how I was less open before, But I guess I'm more open to trying new things, which is good. Which, you know what? I'm glad I said that, because I think that ties in. That ties in with it. It ties in because I'm willing to try opening up more, you know? Or instead of me being like, no, I'm comfortable here, you know? I don't really want to do that, you know? I won't even give it a chance. I won't try it, you know? So maybe that's what it did for me, is me being able to try all these different things and maybe fail and figure it out and be like, all right, we fucked up, but we can get back on this. We can fix this. We can do that. We can do this. I think it helped. It helped with me being like, all right, be more comfortable and confident with trying a new thing and trying to make it work. You know, because you could definitely try, but you know, if you don't actually put in that effort, then you don't really have a chance, honestly, in a lot of ways. So I think it's important for that way to be open, but also be willing to put in that effort. You know what I mean? Dip into toe. If you're dipping into toe or taking a dive, what does it mean? I think it's dipping toe. I think that's probably what it is. That's probably the right way to do it, not diving in. But yeah, damn. Well, let's talk about the growth of the podcast, man. I think we're honestly the most comfortable and close we've been. I'm talking me and Dave. And I think just for where the podcast is and what it still is, honestly, because we went through a lot of, I think, you know, the number stuff, the who cares, who listens, people saying stuff, why are we doing it? And I think we really this year got in our bag and said, do it for the one and open up so other people can. I think that's just like our through line. And I think that we kill it on that. I think that's just our core. And I'm happy we're able to find that, because that feels like it almost feels like a mission or like a cause that like we can work on every day by doing this and also living out in the world, which is awesome. I think that's beautiful, because that's, I think, making us better people and maybe making the world a little bit better too with who we, you know, interact with. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, is like being the flower, being the ever-giving flower. Dude, we're doing that. I feel that. Wow. Okay. We come full circle, baby. If you didn't see it, boom. The circle, the full circle. And that was intentional, dude. That sign was intentional. The circle around it is the ever-giving circle of the You Are Here podcast. And now we'd like to go back to our cabin in our cult. And not cult, I mean club. Whoops. And take your clothes off. No, I'm just kidding. Don't take your clothes off. I'm joking. But it's the ever-giving circle of life, man. Dang, dude. Damn it. Dude. Got it. Killed it. Your boy killed it. I'm sorry. Wow. Well, what else do I have, man? I think we're at an hour. 2 more minutes. You guys just want to sit in the silence? Anyone? Just sit in the silence with me? If you're listening right now, I love you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to look in the camera this time. I don't think I even did that once this whole podcast. You right there, thank you for listening. I love you. I really do. I feel like we can do a lot in this world, and we can give a lot. And just keep being you, man. Keep trying to just, I don't know, just keep trying to grow. Keep trying to be who you are. And you know what, man? If you're honest, if you're compassionate, if you're living life, you know, with good intentions, it's gonna come back, dude. Be patient. You got this. I believe in you. And I'm sure Dave believes in you. The You Are Here podcast believes in you. Yeah. You know? Wow. I feel like we're going to end it on that. The You Are Here podcast, episode 223. I'm probably in Japan right now, just living it up. Just eating all the onigiris, all the vending machine drinks, just a little can of coffees, all the food. Well, I'll let you know about it, guys, when I get back. It's going to be an exciting time to see Dave when I get back, man. I'm going to be gone for so long from him. But yeah, you know what? Anytime Actors Lab. Baby, if you are trying to learn acting or trying to get into it, or you're in the middle and you're just lost, you feel like you're not being true, dude. Anytown Actors Lab has you covered. Get on the website, and they got a free online consultation. They're gonna call with you for free, see what you need, what you're trying to get done, what the trajectory is, what you got to do to get there. And dude, I said it in the beginning, and I'll say it again. Any other school, they don't care about you. I'm going to be real, man. It's cutthroat out there. A lot of people don't care about you in that business. But dude, I'm telling you, Adam's been there. Adam, he's teaching people, and he knows how it's been. And he's going to give it to you straight, man. He's going to give you the realest, And that's why, we believe in him. So anytownactorslab.com, get in there. Get the classes, because they're honestly booked, basically. So it's going to be probably hard to get a class, but check up on there and take a class. Shout out to the patrons, patreon.com/YouAreHerePodcast. We are just not doing anything on the Patreon, to be honest, but we appreciate you guys. You're going to be solidified in time. And, maybe if once we, I don't know, maybe one day we'll get on it. We have a lot of ideas, but they will definitely come in the future. But it's the best way to support us if you rock with what we do. Patreon.com/YouAreHerePodcast. Throw us a bone. And Twitch.tv/YouAreHerePodcast. We are twitching. We are live. Streaming is what it is. Playing games. Playing some Apex, honestly. We're trying to game. We're trying to be that Apex predator. But it's really hard. But we have fun. It's us outside of the podcast. It's the best way to get in touch with us live, basically, And it's a good time. If you have a little time, you're eating dinner, you're alone, you need someone to listen to or watch, check us out. We're there every week on Monday, Tuesday. Boom, twitch.tv/YouArePodcast. And guys, we did it. That was honestly, I thought it was going to be so hard, but man, we did it. And I'm kind of proud of myself, man. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of the week. And keep doing it, man. Keep killing it. Peace.